Okay. Just cruising. Sorry, I was about to say episode 6. Just cruising episode 6. I was about to say Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning, it was the word, and the word it was God.
The beginning.
In the beginning. Alright, so let's start again. Just cruising. Episode 6. Kevin McKess and Dr. Love. Unscripted.
Fully
unedited.
unscripted. I just dropped my phone.
Phone fall on the floor. We're not pausing. We're continuing. So unscripted, unedited, unfiltered, on everything, all that good stuff. Yeah, unedited. That's parking wooden. Yeah. Now, today's topic is actually no topic. No religion is the new religion and all that stuff. Yeah, but I have nothing today to give. But Dr. Love. Sound like Whitney Houston. I have nothing. If I don't have you.
You are on one today, bro.
I'm not on one today. I'm on 2 today. Trying it. Right, so David wants to have a conversation with the world today, and I'm involved too, so please.
Oh, so you put it on me, yeah?
Well,
Okay.
no, you have questions, I have answers. Something like that.
Yeah, I wanna. Well, when you asked earlier what I want to talk about, I'd like to discuss excellence today. It's been a topic, as I was saying earlier, past week especially, something that keeps coming up, and I keep seeing just the power of it, the relevance of it, and the different things it impacts. And so when you are pursuing excellence, particularly pursue your purpose, I find everything else falls into place. So your sense of self-respect grows and self-esteem grows. The way people see you changes. So people hold you with a certain respect because excellence stands out. Most people are essentially doing bare minimum. And there's just so many positive things that come off of it. You know, you become magnetic. You become an object of interest. Whether that's women being attracted to you, or it's guys admiring you. Some people will be jealous. Like, you get all different kinds of energy from people. But I think there's something about that pursuit of excellence which is really, really powerful. And I find being in those environments is super inspiring, and I feel more and more at home in those spaces, and more and more out of place when I'm around people who don't have those kinds of standards. And so I wanted to have a discussion around excellence.
When you say excellence, what do you mean? What do you mean by excellence? In what exact form? What exactly do you mean by excellence? What would your opinion of excellence be?
That's a really good question. For me, I would say excellence is essentially giving your best to something. So, for example, if I take physical training, because I train a lot, there's a certain amount I could do which is a bare minimum to just keep going. But then excellence for me is about making progress and realizing the potential that I have as a person. So it's constantly that journey of improving and getting better, with a view to being essentially as good as you can be, like the best version of who you are.
Right.
And that could apply to training, it could apply to your work, it could apply to your relationships. But I think having something like that, it's aspirational, and it's that gap between where you are now maybe and that, which is something that could motivate you.
So would it be giving your best to something, or being the best at something?
I would say it would be giving your best, because you can't always control if you're going to be the best at something. Like you might give your best, but you might not be that good at it. It depends on the thing and your natural abilities as well, because that does play a part, definitely.
Right.
But I think it's more important that you're giving your best.
So I said being the best at something. So I say my perception of excellence, or excellence is like, I'll give you a big difference. You know when people say to you, work hard, be the hardest working person in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the hardest working person is has worked hard. I'm saying like say 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week. Works hard, grinds, toils. That person is in some village in Nigeria. The U.S. president has never worked as hard as that person has.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that person works hard but doesn't work smart.
Sure.
So that's work smart and there's work hard. But now that's excellence on both sides. Because one person has worked so hard and is the best at toiling the farm.
Mm-hmm.
So to someone's own point of view, he's the best farmer out there. Because he's given so many hours into that task, that drill.
Hmm.
You know, but then the other person is the POTUS. But has never taken a hoe and shovel and, you know, dug the ground under 32 degrees weather.
Oh, 100.
Every day.
Yeah. Go on.
So excellence is, it varies in different parts. So my perception of excellence is the hardest and smartest workers in a certain field.
I like that.
You know, because in a certain field you'd see, okay, you say my field, you would see personal trainers who are the best PTs out there, but they never get clients. They never get clients. They don't have the money. They haven't got the finances. They don't have their own gym. They don't have all this, but they're the hardest working PTs out there.
Because they're not working smart.
They're not working smart. So you're the hardest working PT that no one knows. Yes, you have 3 or 4 good reviews, but you're not out there. You're not the smartest working PT, personal trainer. But then you have the smart trainers who don't work hard, but they have the know-how. They have the know-how, they look the part, and then they get the client just because they know how to make ice melt. That's just what it is. You're not doing anything grandiose. It's just you work smart. So the ones I see as excellence are hardest working and smartest working in one person
Combined.
So one person that's very hard working, but they also work smart. Work smart is not just working hard, it's working hard and knowing the right people to work with. That's working smart. Because you can grind by yourself in there and you get nowhere.
Oh, I see so many people doing that.
You know, and this is the thing I say, no one's an island.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot, if you want to be in your level of excellence, you cannot be an island and deal with it by yourself. You can only go so far as an island, but you cannot go past this, because in order to grow, you need to have known a few other people for a while who you have grown with, because it gets lonely at the top.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when excellence comes in. You want to have that familiarity or familiar. You're working together.
Speak on it.
So that's my perception
Message.
of excellence.
I think you made a great distinction there, because like you say, you could be toiling away, doing the wrong things. And also the thing about community and network, again, I think that is so key, because you know, I've seen people who've worked very hard, become very successful, and then they're just suddenly there, like, oh, what about now? Because they didn't spend the time, you know, fostering those friendships, relationships, and connections. And so now, like you say, they're isolated. They don't trust anyone, because now they're successful. And they're like, do these people even like me? Or
By
do they just want
themselves,
my money?
yeah, exactly.
I've seen that in quite a few people, man, and I think I think it's an ego thing sometimes too, where people want to do it themselves. Like I want to get it all done. I want to know that I did it, and I think the journey is more fun when you share it. And I've definitely made a much bigger effort this year around fostering those connections, you know, connecting with people.
Something I've known and noticed has been the same ways like I do it myself. There've been times, scenarios, situations where it was just me. So the grind was just me. Everything was just me. So I get to a certain point and I'm like, you know what? I can do it myself. But then I have to check myself regularly and say, hold up. You need a team. You need to start delegating. You need people to start doing things because for you to get to the next level, the next levels, you can't be everywhere at the same time. Some have to do whatever. But nonetheless, if there's no one to do it, you're going to get back off your high horse and get the job done. You walked into my gym today, what was I doing?
Mopping
the floor.
Mopping the floor.
I'm not too big for that. I love doing that. You know, humble beginnings. You come back, oh, boom, this is not me. Sort it out. I don't have to wait half an hour for someone to come in. I'll do it myself. Simple as that. If no one's there, I'll do it. If someone's there, okay, delegate, you get this done. I'll see you in 10 minutes. Boom. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the beauty of what it is and how it is. But yeah, excellence as well is a thing. There's this thing about, so in an excellence group per se, there is also a hierarchy system. Yes, I said it. Hierarchy system. Get mad. You have generally in every walk of life, you have the builders or the entrepreneur type, the creators, the ones that have the idea, the entrepreneurs, the one that started, and then you have the management type, the managers, the ones that head manager and all that stuff, area manager, and then you have the staff. So you have the entrepreneurs, the managers,
like the builders, the visionaries, the owners.
There you go. Your Elon Musk's, the Bill Gates, the Steve Jobs, the Kevin Lakes, those ones, right? Entrepreneurs, right? Tops. And then you have your managers, and then you have your staff. Here's what it is. Most times, I say 90%, you can work downwards, but you can't work upwards.
Interesting.
You can work downwards, but you can't work upwards. Here's why, here's how, here's what. The entrepreneur understands that if I start a new business today, it will take me 2 to 5 years to get that business rolling at its own inertia. What that means is, at that time, I'm going to be the manager and the staff until I've hired people to do the management and the staffing, and then it starts to roll. I take a step back, it goes on its own. The ball just keeps rolling downhill by itself without me pushing it. Inertia. That's 2 to 5 years. Okay. Now the manager, when there's no staff around, the manager can work as the staff and manage the business, but the manager does not want to take the risk that the entrepreneur does. Entrepreneurs take risks all the time. They will take 50 grand because they believe in the project. They'll put it there. They will take $500,000 in the project and put it there because they believe in it. A manager does not have that kind of gumption, that kind of risk.
More risk averse.
More risk averse. Like, no, 50 grand, no. It's a lot of money, Imagine if I work 9 to 5 from this to that, I'll make it that money in 2 years. That's how you're thinking. It's how you think, and you don't get mad at it. It just is what it is. Simple as that. That's how it is, right? The staff, same thing. Staff just there to get paid. Doesn't care about the legalities, that. Just go, what's my job? Okay, I'm gonna come in here, work 9 to 5, get paid and go home. That's it. Logistics, I don't care. My task is, you take this up there, you put it down there. Simple. Up there, down there. When that's finished, what's next? Take that one there and put it there. That's it. You don't want to care about this, care about that. You don't care about the oils. You come home, watch your TV shows on your channel, drink, party on the weekend. On Monday, you're back to doing the same thing, and that's fine for the staff. That's what they do. They're comfortable. But now, when you put the staff in the point of responsibility of management, that's a problem. because what that means is they have less of their time to go and party and play and drink and do nothing, wasted time.
Mm-hmm.
They now have less wasted time, and they fear that because that means it's change. It's the whole thing about people fear winning more than they fear losing. Because winning means you're gonna have to actually change your reality,
Change who you are.
change who you are, and some people are not ready for that change.
Oh, do you know, this leads on perfectly to something else, which is identity, and how, like you were just saying, when you change at a certain point, to go beyond a certain limit, you actually have to change yourself, not just change what you're doing, because otherwise it starts to conflict with your sense of who you are. I'm curious to know, what are your thoughts on how you make that change successfully?
It's mental. It's always mental
It's
first.
mental.
Your feet cannot take you where your mind hasn't gone.
Jeez.
It's just that simple.
Beautiful.
Because you cannot force people into what they've not thought themselves to be. You're just wasting your time. Wasting your time, wasting their money, wasting everything. Waste of time. Waste of effort.
So you have to have that mental conception of
Yes.
that sort of new version, that better version.
You have to believe,
Hmm.
achieve, and all that stuff.
So, do you, practically speaking, do you visualize, like, how do you go about that? Or how would you advise someone?
Advice, I would say suggest. You suggest to people a possibility. That's what it is. A possibility. You don't just go, oh, you must do this. No. Say, give them a scenario. Just imagine you were this. How would that play out? Just imagine you were awesome. What would that look like? Imagine you were blah blah blah. How would blah 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 handle that problem? Simple. That's what it is. Because it's back to our whole perception of ourselves. Most of us, we see ourselves worse than we actually are. So we don't see ourselves as the hero of our story. We look to someone else as a hero, which is what we call the external locus of control.
Yes.
You want to have it more of internal. Like, you are the hero of the story. That's your story. That's your book of life. That's your chapter. That's your thing. So you are the one that is in that story. That's your movie. You're the hero. You know, you're the hero of your story, which is literally that. What would blah 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 do? You know, because
I like that.
I'm gonna use. Jeez, I know everyone says I'm gonna use Batman.
Why not?
I'm gonna use Batman. Here's why I use Batman. Batman is everyone's main hero. Why? Because he's just like them. Because they relate to Batman more than Superman. They relate to Batman more because Batman is a human being. He's a person. Cannot fly, but he's human. Which is, we could not fly, but what did we do? We used our brains to invent things that could make us fly. Simple. We could not fight gods, but we used our brains to invent things to fight gods. That's us. So when people watch a DC movie and they see Batman, they see Batman and they go, that's me. That's why Batman is DC/Warner Brothers' biggest selling model. That's why. Relatability. Right. So I help every other person and I go, okay, imagine you were Batman. What would Batman do? And I go, okay, good. So now let's not try and break someone's nose, right? Let's just bring it down 10 notches. Now, imagine you were Bruce Wayne. Crime doesn't pay me, Robin. Calm down, bro. Calm down. Yeah. So, imagine you, Bruce Wayne, in a meeting. What would you do? I would do this, this, this. Okay. Now do it. That's a bit extreme. No, it's not. You're Batman, right? Go.
I like that.
It's so simple yet so effective.
I get you to look through different eyes.
It's important because even when I teach in a similar way. So when I'm teaching my students, I say things like, you kind of want to see yourself in two different dimensions. I say eyeball dimensions. First dimension is you are looking at me the way I'm teaching you. Second dimension is you are looking down on yourself, seeing the way you are doing it. So you kind of want to visualize yourself doing that thing. So you're looking at yourself doing what needs to be done. When you see yourself from different perceptions, perspectives, and dimensions, you start to see yourself in a better light.
Very interesting. So both of those perspectives simultaneously.
Yes. When I teach my classes, I give you life lessons. It's not about just it's
Punching people in the
it's
face.
about taking it home and making it work at home as well. Making it work in your day, your work, everywhere you go to, make it work there.
Well, truth is truth, isn't it? So it should translate, it should transfer to work.
It is. You can lie to them if you want to. Get paid, you can lie to them. But eventually they'll come out and be like, oh yeah. It is what it is.
The identity thing is interesting too, because thinking from my own perspective, I can see almost two sides to it. So there's the one side, like you just said, where you take on a certain conception, and so I do this sometimes. Maybe when I haven't got as much experience in a specific skill, I kind of take on that mindset of someone who's really good at that thing, or
Yes.
great at it.
Yes.
So, and I've done that sometimes with work. Like, I remember a few months back, I went into the bar and I remember just thinking, I'm great at this. I am a great bartender. Tonight I'm gonna teach you like how to bartend. And I come in with that energy and that mindset, and it just, the way I perform is on a different level because of it. On the flip side, there's the consistency of your habit, and then at a certain point, that changes your identity too, because you really do this thing. And so if you say you take a martial art, if you're practicing that enough, at a certain point, you are a martial artist. So that identity happens anyway.
When you pretend to be something for long enough, you become it. Be careful when you fight monsters, lest you become one yourself. That's all it is. So when you are constantly in a position of doing something, you become that. Same reason why many people, many men who do a certain job 9 to 5 every day of their life, when they retire and stop doing that, they feel lost. Because as much as you hate your job, don't like your job, you've done that for so long. That's who you are. That's it. And that's who you are. No matter how you want to see it, look at it, get mad at it.
Reps.
That's who you are. You can be like, I hate my job. No. I know people who have worked night shifts for a very long time. Very, very long time. They cannot undo that. Even if they get a job
As in the sleep pattern and so on.
daytime, it's just they can't do it. Money is great about it, but their system is accustomed to this, and that's what it is. It's not a bad thing. It just is what it is.
It's making me think of reps, like whatever you're doing reps in,
That's it.
whatever you're doing your repetitions in, good or bad.
Put your reps in. That's all it is. It's repetition.
Yes.
That's the word of reps itself. Repetition.
Reps, repetition.
Everything you repeat, you become.
Yes.
You repeat it over and over again, you become that.
Yep.
That is who you are.
Good or bad, healthy, unhealthy, like
Happy
whatever
or
it is.
sad, that's who
It's
you
just
are.
reps. I remember Arnold Schwarzenegger said something which stayed with me. He said, because he originally, he was a bodybuilder and then he became world class at that. And that work ethic that he had, he just transferred that into everything he did. So he built business, he was in the real estate business. He was actually a millionaire before he got into acting. A lot of people didn't know that. So he didn't have to like take on small roles. He would literally go, no, I don't want to do that. I want to be the lead in this. And he held out for like good roles. But one of the things he said was, after a while, he realized everything came down to reps and mileage. So when he went into politics, for example, he would practice a speech 50, 60 times before he would deliver it. And it's simple, but just most people don't put in reps like that. And yeah, it's been another theme for me this year, reps.
I always do reps. I do mental reps.
Tell me about your mental reps.
Everything it is mental reps. It's just mental reps. Whatever it is, mental reps. So it could be training. It could be a technique.
So you practice a technique over and over in your head.
In your head 100 times.
Beautiful.
1,000 times.
Beautiful. That takes concentration.
Yes.
It's harder than the physical reps, to be honest, I think.
Especially today. Especially
Phew.
so whatever it is, if I have to go and give a speech, if I do a workshop, if I do a seminar, I've played it in my head. That's the word I'm going to use. Play it in your head. I've played it in my head over and over again. Over and over again. Done it 2, 3, 4 times. I've recited my lines. I've done everything. So the way it is, it's like, what's your favorite film?
Play with their lives, man.
Nice one. Okay.
Sorry, say again. What's my favorite film?
Yeah.
It's a tough one, man.
Give me top 5.
Alright, I'd say top 3 popping to my head right now. I'd say Matrix, Gladiator, Trading Places.
All right. Just imagine you wake up one morning and you are literally Morpheus in the Matrix 1. And it's like you know every single line because you have repeated every single line and you know what's gonna happen next, and you know that when Neo wakes up, he's gonna say to you, "I know Kung Fu," and you know your next line is gonna be
Show me.
Boom. And that's what it is because you have repeated that over and over and over again, and then you're gonna go, "Stop trying to hit me." You know this. You see my point? That's what it
You're
is.
faster than this. Don't think you are. Know you are.
No, you are. You've repeated it.
Reps.
Over and over again. That's reps. Repetition. Reps. Simple. It's what it is. So when you repeated the scenario over and over again, you become proactive, not reactive.
Hard. These conversations are hard.
It goes full circle.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So, all right, let's say hypothetically, let's say you're doing a workshop and it's an hour long. Are you visualizing little elements of it, or are you going through the whole thing in your mind? Because that's a lot of mental work.
When I'm doing a workshop, it's like I've done it already before. That's what it is. It's like I did it yesterday. It's just, how I put it. It's like I've done it before. It's like it's not my first time doing it, and it's like I know exactly what someone's gonna say at this time, and I know the answer to that before I even know the answer to that. So it's the difference between someone who sees the future and someone who plans for the future.
Let me tell you a story real quick. When I had my my first fight, I was visualizing myself, how I was gonna box and everything, and I was picturing, moving around and not getting hitting him, yada yada yada. And then one of the things I was visualizing was at the end, the referee raising my right hand. And I played this back over and over, and I also played back one of my coaches telling me that was the best he's seen someone fight, white collar level. Night of the fight comes, the opponent's way bigger than me. They told me he was going to be like a stone heavier. He ended up being like 3 stone heavier. But I took the fight anyway. And I remember getting in the ring and he went to hit me and I blocked it and I just felt the weight of the punch and I thought, oh shit, I can't get hit with nothing clean to that, right? So
when you get hit here and that leg moves like you're like, what?
It was like some cartoon shit, man. He was like 6'1", 13 stone 4. I was about 10 stone 7. Anyway, I'm moving around, touching him in and out. End of the fight, we finish. Referee's got us in the middle of the ring, but he's holding my left arm, right? And then just before he announced us, he got us to swap places. Then he said, "Yeah, you won." Raises my hand. I go back to the corner, and the coach says to me, that last round was the best I've ever seen at this level. And I've done stuff like that before, where I've word for word, like imagined some dialogue, and it's happened like word for word. So I know you mean about that process of seeing the future and anticipating. A couple things I did in the fight as well. Like at one point, I imagined that, you hold him in the head like that, and then you go behind the head and tap him with it. Yeah, that happened as well, and I visualized that happening. Like, it's kind of, the mind's very, very powerful.
It's more powerful than we give it credit for. That's the beauty of it. It's just
putting those mental reps.
Mental reps are key. Visualize, repeat it. So when I get guys to do shadow boxing, some people like they can't visualize, and it's fine. You're not used to it. So I go, okay, we're doing shadow boxing. We're doing 3-minute rounds. We're doing 3 rounds. The first round is gonna go hands only. We're just boxing. The second round is hands and knees. The third one is punches, elbows, knees, kicks, the works, everything. And then they go, huh? I go, okay. Visualize yourself. You're fighting yourself. Imagine you punching yourself back.
So while they're shadow boxing, you want them to imagine that they're fighting themselves.
You're fighting. That's shadow boxing. You're not just punching oxygen. You're actually fighting. So you're visualizing yourself in a fight. When you are constantly visualizing a fight's not new to you. And then even when they don't get the shadow boxing aspect, I said, okay, because everyone has their own demons, right? I say, imagine you're fighting your demons. Go, ah, like, aha, magic.
That's dope.
Is it?
That's fucking dope.
It is
Like
true.
that.
Just imagine you're fighting your demons. Go.
Fighting your demons, fighting your fears.
That's it.
That's some Batman shit right there.
It's the lamest Batman shit out there. Because I was afraid of bats, I embraced the bat. Okay. Okay. I'm speechless. It's just weird. Because I was afraid of spiders, I embraced the spider.
You bringing logic to this thing, man. You're killing it.
It's dumb. It's just dumb. Just dumb.
All of it's dumb if you think about it logically, though.
Everyone will know you're Batman because, like, you have the label on your equipment, Wayne Tech. That's expensive. Do you know how much gas prices are?
Something's so wrong with you.
Logic. That's what's wrong. Common sense isn't common.
It really isn't common. We need to call it something else.
Sense.
Sense.
Sense. Just sense. Simple as that. But yeah, so that's the whole thing about excellence. And the thing about excellence I see is that in any facet, in any line of work, in any branch, in any circle, excellence knows excellence. Excellence sees excellence. Real recognizes real, and you're looking familiar. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I see you. Boom, real.
So true.
You see someone, and no matter what branch of life you're in, you all speak the same language. The hustle is the same. It doesn't matter if it's painting, if it's real estate, if it's food, if it's clothing, if it's fitness. It doesn't matter what it is. Excellence knows because it's the same blueprint.
Yep.
It's the same foundation for that house, which is why I say you have to work hard and work smart. You don't just work smart, you work hard. Because if you want to try and work smart without working hard, what happens is those who work hard and work smart will only see you as a con person, as a con artist, which is what a con artist is someone who wants to work smart without working hard. So you don't put in the hours, you don't put in the grind, you don't put in anything. You just go, hey buddy, I'm here. You talk a good game, but you're not doing. The ones who are excellent see what you do and hear what you say. If you're saying this, but you cannot prove your works, I'm not mad at you. I'll see you tomorrow. It's been emotional. That's it. Sometimes. Yeah.
Sick. Oh, a couple things popped into my head. What was I going to ask you?
Like I said, today I have nothing, but I have answers. You have questions, I have answers.
Yeah, I do. So yeah, that was one of the things I was going to ask. In terms of finding mentors, finding people you can learn from, teachers, what are your thoughts on that? Because I think there's a lot of guys nowadays that are a little bit lost in that regard, or maybe isolated, right? So they don't have that father there, or that big brother or uncle or mentor.
Right. Man, it's gonna be tough. It's not so easy because of the way everything is designed. You cannot. You see, people are expecting to just sit down and do nothing, and then the teacher just shows up.
Like in the movies.
Like the Chinese guy in Gremlins Part 1 just comes in and says, haha, take my Gremlins back. It doesn't work like that.
No,
you actually have to go out there and find.
You have to do something, don't you?
Yeah, you have to put in some work. You have to put in some work. You have to go down and find it. You say mentors and mentees, and this is, you see, it falls back into schools as well. Like, for most people, they've had 3 father types in their life. Three fathers in their life. The first father is the biological father. The second father is your favorite male teacher in school. That one that never gets the credit, but everyone liked him. He was the coolest guy on the block, and he always wanted the best out of you, and that was it. Never judged you, never hated you, but like whatever it is, we got your back. That's your second father. Your third father is your drill sergeant. That's it. So your drill sergeant is basically your first martial arts coach, your first boxing coach, the one that your customado, the one that.
That's assuming you box or do martial arts, though, right?
Exactly. If you don't, go and find you one. You see what I did there? If you haven't got your first or second father, go and find your third. So it's not the assuming, it's like everyone has those 3 fathers. Whether they like it or not, it's just there. There's a biological father, there's the one that you were fond of in school, and then there's the one, your after school father. So why I say to most people, I'm your father. Simple as that. Because I'm your drill sergeant. I'm your coach. I'm your head coach. I'm that person. I'm the one that will not give you what you want, but will give you what you need. It's a big difference. That understanding. So even now in schools, schools today have a lot less male teachers.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of men are quitting the school system because they're not involved anymore. They just don't want any part of it in a place where you cannot discipline children. And that's a reality. If you cannot discipline a child, you cannot teach a child. Now when I say discipline, I'm not saying get the stick out and start whipping. No. Children need boundaries.
was thinking.
Right.
Boundaries.
Fathers teach children boundaries. Which father? Biological father, male school teacher, drill sergeant. They teach you boundaries throughout your life. It's a good thing. Boundaries just mean, okay, this is how you respect the person, this is how you talk to the person, this is what you do, this is what you don't do. Manners take you out throughout your whole life. Your manners will open more doors for you than your degree ever would. All these things.
Facts.
All these things.
Facts.
That's what the three fathers teach you. It's as simple as that. They're the small things that matter the most. Like literally me saying that yesterday is like manners are everything. Manners open more doors for you than your degree ever would.
I co-sign that, especially working in the service industry now. Jeez, you'd be amazed the difference.
The difference in how far you would go with a simple please and thank you.
Eye contact, just treating people with respect.
But so, anyway, why I was saying about the school system and like manners and no male teachers and boundaries and all these things, it's simple as this, right? A lot of the kids today in schools, no respect for authority, just off the grid, off the skill, off everything.
Yep.
And everyone, because I used to train teachers, I used to teach teachers, and everyone says the same thing. Everyone says the same thing. But then you now sit down, you now dig deep, you now realize, hold on, what's the main problem? Because everyone goes, oh, it's the government, it's the school, is that. No, it's not. It's not the school, it's not the new system, it's not the teachers, it's the parents. It's the parents. It's not the cost of living, it's the parents. It's the parents. Oh, guess why? I got you. Here's why. You don't just throw your kids away to the school and let the school teach them. As the parents, you, father and mother, you have to teach them more than the school teaches them. I don't think you heard me. As the parents, you have got to teach them more about life than the school does.
Yeah, otherwise the school's going to program them with whatever they program them.
You are the parents, not the school. The parents have to be more involved in the child's life than ever. So if the child has 20 hours in school, the parents need 21 hours. Now, again, it goes back to quality time and wasted time. If you are with your kids and all you are doing is you are on your phone, you're not with your kids. You're not. If you are with your children and you are not doing activities together, you're not with your children. It's just that simple.
One of the things I noticed, and this is going back a long time, but I remember there was this shift. It was almost like a shift in the balance of power, where I remember kids had a certain fear for teachers, and then at a certain point there was this emphasis on like Childline. I remember Childline coming up, and there'd be these adverts, and it was, you know, if you'd heard about a child that had been beaten or abused or whatever, call this number. And I remember there was this shift where kids were suddenly like, well, I can do anything I want, because if this teacher touches me or acts in a certain way, I can report them and they can get in trouble. And you could see the teachers change their whole mode, because it was like, now they were like, okay, where's the line now? Like, what can I say or not say? And they pushed teachers more, and I could see that shift happen, and yeah, I think it's just continued to go in that direction, where, you know, it's like more and more power is taken from them in a sense.
the whole thing. You have to reset the system, because all you're doing is you're ticking boxes for the sake of, oh, we've got the curriculum sorted, but you are not exactly helping them for the next generation. You're not, because I get to deal with them, and they come to me after school. Obviously, after they've left school, university, and they're now grown, and they come to me, and then they come to me with a mindset of thinking that how you talk to your teachers in school is how you talk to me.
Mate.
And then they realize
It's not that kind of
I'm not
party.
that person. It's not that kind of party, not that kind of place. And then no, you don't play with me like that. Here you go. And it's mind blowing, because a lot of them have not seen authority.
Yeah. I have the same experiences, bro.
Because I don't
They
know.
look at you like you're speaking a different language.
I don't know
They're
where
like,
it is. I don't know why it is, but I think it's like some people have been taught that authority is dictatorship. It's not. It just means respect me and I respect you. I tell someone like a while back, said, if you want to do that stuff over here, get out. Go and do that in your own gym. When you have your own gym, do your own classes, teach your own classes, you can do that. Until then, get out. It's that simple. It's just that simple. If you take your money back, I don't need your money. Refund them. Simple as that. Too afraid to stand your ground, you can't teach. You shouldn't teach. If you're too afraid to be in your own square, you shouldn't teach. If you fear your students, you shouldn't teach. If your students have power over you, you should not teach.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. And that was what I want to talk about. That's the school system and the parenting system. Obviously, I can't tell parents how to parent their kids. But what I can say is you need to be more involved in your child's development. Because you should not let any other person have a greater authority over your child. That's your child. That's your child, and that's what it is. So once parents understand that that's their child, they start setting boundaries differently. It's sad because of, I say, our cost of living these days. Everything is getting more expensive, but your pay rate is not increasing significantly. It's not. So what then happens is the parents have to work more hours,
So they got less time.
so they have less time with the children.
That's what I was thinking about when you said the thing about the 20 hours. I was thinking,
That's the
not
problem.
the easiest right now.
No, it's not the easiest, because everything is going higher. So the parents now have to work more.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just crazy.
And then when they're around the kids, a lot of them are tired. Do you know what I mean? They're not even in the mood like that.
They're too tired to do anything. Tired, grumpy,
Impatient. The willpower's not there to stay.
irritable.
Yeah.
You know, what you mean you love me? Get out of my face, you know? It's not nice. But it happens. It breaks parents down. And then there's no quality time. And what happens now is I'm saying it because I've dealt with this with teenage girls in schools where very, very rich schools. Obviously, I won't give the names out because, you know.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Rich schools and everything, where the parents are well off, very well off. This person, he's a CEO somewhere, she's a CEO of somewhere. They all have money for days, right? So the kids are in school, but these kids are being bullied because they're being bullied, but it's not the kind of bullying you know. It's worse because it's like if you want to be part of this group, you have to do certain things that are just wrong. Yes, just no. You have to do certain things in the toilet with this person and this, that, and the third.
What? Sexual
And
things?
I'm not saying it, bro, because it's kids, bro. Don't say that, okay?
That's crazy.
David, don't say that. Just say things.
Things.
Alright? We're doing things with children that should
That's
not be done.
Crazy.
But here's the problem, is that these children do these things because They want to be part of that group.
To be accepted.
They want to be accepted. Why is that? Because growing up, all they wanted from mommy and daddy was to be accepted. Quality time. Like I said, just because you're spending 20 hours together does not mean you're spending 20 hours together. It's that quality time. It's that time off your phone. It's that time where it's that me and you time. Because when a child has that bond with their parents, they don't need external acceptance. They don't go out there looking for love and acceptance because you've already given them that from home. That's it. That's it.
So, it's interesting when you say that. It reminds me of being a kid, and a lot of the kids I grew up around were, let's just say up to some
no good.
Some no good. Yeah, up to some no good. And so they'd say, hey, on Saturday we're gonna go here and we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
And I used to just think, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like something I want to do. But I think looking back on it, and from this context, it was that thing of wanting to be accepted.
That's it.
It was like, okay, if we all go and do this, we're gonna be part of the group. We're gonna be cool. And at the time, I was more of an outsider because of that. Because I didn't want to do that. I wanted to read books. I wanted to learn things. And I think I was seen more as like a bit weird and a bit different. But looking back on it now, like, I was the cool kid, man. Because I actually did what I wanted to do. I wasn't trying to...
though.
Do you know what I mean? I wasn't trying to fit in. I wasn't trying to be like everyone else. And I was doing what felt right to me. It's interesting looking back.
The ones who were the bullies could always tell the vulnerable ones. They always knew. They always knew that, yeah, this one is vulnerable, so we're gonna take advantage of him or her. That was it. Because they were so
Same as
eager
adults.
to be accepted. Oh, please accept us.
Same as adults.
As adults.
Yeah.
Exactly. The change, the big thing is just bond with your young ones. Once you have a bond, you're good. I say that because I also know families who, when they're together, no phones, no television.
You do?
I know families like that. No phones, no
Beautiful.
television. They go out together, they go hiking together, they go camping together, they go and do things physically together. They go on retreats together. No videos, nothing.
Fire.
You're not gonna see on Instagram or Facebook. None of that. It's none of your business. It's me and my family. It's not on Instagram. It's not on Facebook. It's not on Twitter. It's not on Snapchat. Because they are not trying to impress anybody, but trying to bond with their children. And the kids are the best. Their children are the best. They don't need that love from other people that are strangers. They don't need that. And after school, they can't wait to get home to their parents. That's damn good.
That's wonderful, man.
I've seen both sides of it,
I haven't seen
and
much of that.
I've seen the formula. The formula is simple as this: keep your fucking phones away. That's it. That's it. It's that simple. Like, imagine if you and I spend time together, and all I do for that hour together, all I do is I'm just like this, I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, I'm out.
You're out, exactly. But for a child, they haven't got that kind of mental strength or character. They don't, because in their head they're stuck with you. Because that's now normalized culture in their heads. This is norm. This is the way. So now they now get raised and trained in that normal way that this is what it is. You know, I have to jump through hoops and do extra things in order to gain your love and attention and trust. Imagine that. So we wonder why, oh, the kids are doing this, everyone is doing this, but we're trying to fix the problem when the bone is already broken. And you go, oh, just get a plaster on it. It's too late, mate. It's broken. You know. But what do I know, eh?
I think you know a few things.
I think I do. I try. Loads.
One quick question before we wrap up. On the subject of excellence, working smarter and working harder. If we take, say, entrepreneurship, how do you continue to work smarter? Like, are you keeping do you research business? Like, how do you kind of stay sharp and stay on your game?
Keep moving. Don't stop. You don't stop. You keep moving. When you stop moving, you're dead.
Because this is the thing I find is if I take anything I'm doing, the brain loves a comfort zone, right? So you get to a certain level and then the brain wants to just stay there. But I find I have to keep finding ways to introduce new things, to improve it, to tweak it, to do whatever to keep moving forward.
Oh, that's your constant sparring partner. If you're always staying still, you stop moving. You start going backwards.
Keep moving.
Keep moving forward. 1% better every day. Simple as.
Hey, you looked at that book yet?
No,
No?
I haven't. I want to. I need to. The way I've been busy, it's been crazy. Everyone is shocked. So it's about that 1% better situation, and never being enough. Because if we all got to a certain point in our lives, right, and said that's enough, humanity will not be here today. Because we'd have said to ourselves, okay, I've done enough. No. It's our constant challenge. It's our constant. You need to keep doing more. You need to understand to an extent that you should never be satisfied.
I get that.
And accept that reality.
I get that.
Don't get mad at it. It just is what it is. You should never be satisfied. No. That's not for you. For somebody else, it's not for you. So you get to a certain point, okay, cool. There's more. There's
always another level.
You should never be satisfied. Once you grasp that one, you're good as gold.
Bruce Lee said there's no limits, there are only plateaus, and you shouldn't stay there. I'm paraphrasing. You shouldn't stay there, you should always be trying out.
Yeah, it's all the same. It's literally all the same. So, anything else?
I'm good.
David is good. Yes,
David is great. It's 22 degrees.
Nice. Well,
We get some.
on the 20th of the 6th of 2022, it's 22 degrees. A few twos there. Two twos there. Well, everyone, episode 6 has been awesome. It's been emotional.
Be excellent.
Always.